Hey YouTube, today we're going to talk about a topic I've never seen anybody talk about on YouTube, and we're going to talk about finishes on handguns. And before we get started, I'm going to let you know that every one of these handguns I have here in front of us have all been safety checked, and none of them are loaded, and if and when I pick them up during this video, I will show you that they're clear. So what we have here is a variety of different firearms, and what I've tried to do, and folks, I don't own every firearm in the world, but I try my best to match things up. On the left-hand side here, I have all blued and coated firearms, and I have their exact matching counterparts on the right, all in stainless. And I'm going to show you some of the advantages and disadvantages to having a stainless gun versus a blued or coated gun. Now, I've mentioned this before in the past. I like them all. I love the way they look, but I'm going to tell you which ones I prefer, and that would be the stainless guns, because stainless guns are a lot more forgiving, folks. I mean, if you get a scratch on them or something like that, it's very easy to correct a stainless gun, not so much on a blued gun. So I'm going to pick a couple of them up, and I'm going to tell you reasons why I prefer one over the other. But keep in mind, folks, I really like every one of them. I like the way the blued guns look. I mean, you can make the argument they actually look better than the stainless guns in most cases, but they're just a little bit more fragile. So we'll make this as quick as possible. We'll go through them. The top one here, let me show you that it's not loaded. This is a Smith & Wesson 686, and this is a pretty old gun. This is a no-dash 686. Stainless gun, and I like to shoot guns, folks. That's what I like to do. I like to take them out and shoot them, and if this gun gets a little scratched up here and there, I can fix it pretty easily. You know, you can correct the stainless finish fairly easy, and as you can see, this gun looks brand new, basically. It has had scratches on it and stuff before, and I have corrected it. Now, any imperfections you see on these guns are all going to be my fingerprints. I've made a point of saying from the very beginning when I started posting YouTube videos, I'm not a white glove guy, but I'm also not a guy that likes to have stuff messed up, and I try and take care of my stuff as well as possible. But if this one here happens to get a scratch on it, very easily corrected. It's identical twin in blue is right here. This is a 586, a -4. Now, you can make the argument, I've had a lot of people comment when I've showed this gun that they love it. I mean, it is a gorgeous finish on this thing. It is very awesome. It's in pretty good condition. Like I said, you just got a couple fingerprints on it here. It's hard to make a case that this isn't a really awesome looking finish on this gun. But here's the problem. If you start holstering this gun a lot and firing a lot of rounds and holstering it, and you start wearing the muzzle finish or the high points on it from a holster, there's not really a lot you can do, folks, unless you're a professional gunsmith and you know how to reblue a gun. And I am not a professional gunsmith, and I do not know how to reblue a gun. So this gun's a lot more fragile. Even though it's the exact same gun that I just showed you, the finish will wear on it if you don't properly take care of it and you abuse it. So I like to go the path of least resistance, and I prefer the stainless model just because it's a little bit more durable. But that doesn't mean that I don't like a blued finish on a gun. Moving on down the line, we have a custom built 1911 that I've showed on here before. This was hand built for me. This is a Caspian 1911 with all the bells and whistles on it. And the reason I had this gun built is I wanted a full-size stainless gun. And the reason I wanted a stainless gun because I shoot 1911s quite a bit. And if I was to scratch this gun, it's very easy to fix with some polish or a buffer wheel or something like that. But if it was a blued gun, it wouldn't be so easy. And as you can see, this thing's got a very lustrous finish. I'm trying to get it to reflect in the light, and it looks like a mirror. But it is stainless steel. It's not nickel coated or anything like that. So if we could take a knife and scratch right across it, and I wouldn't want to do that. But if it did, it wouldn't be the end of the world because it can be corrected. Moving on down the line, what we have here, we have an old Series 70 Colt that's equally as shiny. But this is a blued finish, and if this thing gets holstered a whole lot and gets wear on it on the slide or anything like that, usually it happens towards the muzzle, there's nothing you can really do about it, folks. I mean, it's just going to look bad. And I know I don't place a lot of things on what things are valued at, but this thing would be worth a lot less if it was all wore out and everything. And I don't like not having control over being able to fix stuff. Like I said, I'm not a white glove guy, and I do take my stuff out, I do shoot it, and I do enjoy it, but I take care of it, make sure stuff stays clean, stays oiled and all that. And that is another point about blued guns. Blued guns are a lot more susceptible to rust and corrosion because it's made out of carbon steel, and carbon steel is a lot more corrosive than stainless steel. So you have to make sure this thing gets extra treatment of oil and all that stuff. Not that a stainless gun won't rust. I mean, it will, but it's a lot less susceptible to corrosion. Moving on down the line, I just recently showed this one here. This is a Sauer P220, and this is an Elite, and it is stainless. The whole frame stainless and everything like that. Very durable gun. If it got scratched up, it could easily be corrected, and it is very, a lot less susceptible to corrosion. So you could use this for a carry gun and like sweat and going in and out of a holster. It's not going to affect it as much as it would if it was not a stainless gun. Its direct counterpart over here is an older 220. Now this one here has an alloy frame, and it's got some type of coating on it, some kind of Cerakote or Duracoat or something. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me. And the slide on it is not stainless, it is a nickel plated slide. So if you do a lot of use on this, this thing gets a lot of heavy use, you're going to show wear on this, and you can't correct this unless you know how to nickel plate. And if this wears off, you have to have some type of machine or gunsmith or something that knows how to recoat this alloy frame. And that is not me, folks. I do not know how to do that. So what I do is I take care of this gun when I go shoot it, and I've shot this thing quite a bit. I just make sure it's cleaned down. I'm careful and mindful of this is not a stainless gun, and it can be susceptible to wear. Moving on down the line, we get into the older collectible guns, and these are the older Colt Pythons, and everybody likes these. Now, one thing you look for when you go look for a Colt Python, like an older one, is how much wear is on it. And that's always reflective in the price that you pay for it, but you can get them cheaper if they have a little bit of wear on them. But you pretty much have to live with that wear unless you're a gunsmith and you know how to duplicate this really high gloss finish. Well, this one you don't have to worry about. This one's a mid-80s gun, and this is a bright stainless, so it's not nickel. So it looks like it's nickel plated because it has all this lustrous shine to it and everything like that. But trust me, folks, it is not. This is a stainless steel gun that's been high gloss polished by Colt. So if I was to take this gun out and shoot it a lot and I got a scratch on it, fairly easy to fix, folks. Very easy to fix, and you can do it with a buffer wheel, you can do it with polish or anything like that. So these things are usually a little bit more expensive, the stainless ones, because they're not going to have as much wear and tear on them because they can be corrected very easily, so they'll look mint at all times. Moving on down the line here, we have the same exact gun, a vintage Colt Python, only this one's in blue, and this has got to be one of the most gorgeous finishes you'll ever see. And a firearm is a Colt Python in royal blue. Like I said, it's got some fingerprints on it, but this thing, I'm trying to move it around and show you. But this thing is absolutely gorgeous. But if you take this thing out and do the same amount of firing to it that you do to the one I just showed you, you're going to start getting muzzle wear on it. You're going to start getting on the high spots going in and out of the holster, and the cleaning materials are a lot more harsh on them. So it's kind of a trade-off. You have a really gorgeous gun, but you have to be careful, a lot more careful when you use this gorgeous gun, because carbon steel and a blued finish is a lot more susceptible to wear. So when you ask me which ones I prefer the stainless ones over the blued ones, just because the blued ones are a little bit more fragile. But when you ask me which one looks better, well, it all depends on the case, because I don't know, this Colt Python is a very gorgeous looking gun. It's got that lustrous shine. But all of these blued guns look awesome. I mean, I think a blued finish is one of the best looking finishes that there is, and it just really makes a gun pop in the looks. So I like them both, but if I had my choice, I would choose stainless over a blued gun. I know not everybody has the ability to have everything in the world, and I consider myself lucky having the stuff that I do have, and I don't have everything, but I usually like to lean towards the ones that I use the most, the stainless side, more than I do the blued side, because I do like to keep my stuff looking good. So anyway, folks, let me know your opinion, what you like better, stainless or blued, or nickel, some kind of coated finish. It all fits into the same category. Let me know which one you prefer, which one looks better, and which one you prefer. After hearing my speech about why I lean towards the stainless stuff, let me know what you think. If you have any questions on any of these firearms, I have videos on each and every one of them, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you. Thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.